Every year, millions of people around the world find themselves standing on the precipice between life and death, where reality takes an extraordinary turn. They glimpse into realms that defy logic, touch upon mysteries that challenge our deepest beliefs, and return with tales of the afterlife. This phenomenon is not confined to the realms of fantasy or the pages of books. It's a real and profound experience known as a near-death experience, or NDE. NDEs have long captivated the human imagination, sparking profound questions about the nature of consciousness, life, and death. These extraordinary encounters with the unknown have been reported by individuals from diverse backgrounds, leaving both science and spirituality grappling with their significance. In this video, we delve into the enigmatic realm of NDEs, examining their prevalence, scientific explanations, and even the intriguing connection between NDEs and the theories of quantum physics. Understanding the prevalence of NDEs is a complex endeavor, as many individuals may never share their experiences. However, surveys conducted in the US, Australia, and Germany have provided intriguing insights. It's estimated that between 4 to 15% of people who've come close to death or who've been clinically dead for a short period have reported having a near-death experience. These encounters are a cross-cultural phenomenon, affecting children and adults alike, regardless of their beliefs, educational level, status in life, or perceptions about death. Individuals who've experienced an NDE often return to life with a profoundly different perspective and no longer fear death. These events are not unique to the modern era. In the distant past, in the land of pharaohs and mysticism, individuals faced the enigma of life and death, just as we do today. It's here, amidst the hieroglyphs and grand tombs, that we find one of the earliest documented accounts of what we now call near-death experiences. In the Egyptian Book of the Dead, a funerary text from around 1550 BCE, the journey of the soul after death is vividly described. It tells of encounters with divine beings, traversing otherworldly landscapes, and the soul's judgment based on the deeds of its earthly existence. These accounts paint a striking picture of individuals experiencing something profound, transcending the boundaries of life and death. Fast forward to ancient Greece, where the revered philosopher Plato pondered the nature of existence, consciousness, and the afterlife. In his philosophical dialogues, Plato recounted the story of a soldier named who experienced an extraordinary vision during a battle. Was presumed dead on the battlefield and, much to the astonishment of his comrades, returned to life with an extraordinary tale. He described a journey to the afterlife, where he witnessed a cosmic tapestry of souls, each weaving the fabric of destiny. Plato's account is reminiscent of modern NDEs, where individuals describe visions of an ethereal realm and a deeper understanding of existence. Turning to the Bible, 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 8 says, "To be away from the body is to be at home with the Lord." This implies that consciousness exists outside of the body, and that our real home is not the earthly realms. This verse also suggests that death is not the end, but rather a reunion with God. In the 18th century, the first medical reports of NDEs began to appear. One of the most famous of these reports was written by Pierre-Jean de Monchaux, a French military doctor who described the case of a soldier who had an NDE after being wounded in battle. De Monchaux's report was published in his book Anecdotes de Médecine in 1740. These glimpses into the past are not isolated events but rather interconnected strands in the complex fabric of human history. They transcend time and culture, revealing a persistent curiosity about what lies beyond the veil of mortality. From the cryptic writings of ancient Egypt to the philosophical ponderings of Plato, these out-of-body experiences have left indelible marks on our collective consciousness. They beckon us to explore the very nature of existence, bridging the chasm between the ancient and the modern, the tangible and the ethereal. One prominent avenue of scientific exploration focuses on medical explanations for NDEs. It's suggested that changes in brain chemistry, particularly the release of endorphins and neurotransmitters, can lead to vivid and unusual experiences. Additionally, cases of oxygen deprivation, hypoxia, have been linked to this phenomenon. During times of extreme stress or trauma, the brain may undergo chemical changes that result in sensory experiences, potentially explaining some aspects of NDEs. While the medical community provides invaluable insights into the intricate workings of the human body and mind during near-death experiences, these peculiar encounters with the uncharted often slip through the cracks of conventional explanation. One of the most striking is the claim made by some experiencers that they can see and hear things from a distance, even when they are, by all medical standards, clinically dead. This fascinating phenomenon is known as veridical perception, where patients share accounts of experiencing precise and verifiable knowledge about events or objects that were entirely beyond the reach of their physical senses while they were unconscious during surgery. One well-known study conducted by Dr. Pim van Lommel in 2001 examined NDEs in cardiac arrest patients. Patients in cardiac arrest are on the brink of clinical death, making them a suitable population for studying experiences that occur at or near the point of death. Patients are typically closely monitored in medical settings, which allows for the collection of data on physiological parameters such as brain activity, via EEG, and vital signs. This monitoring provides an opportunity to correlate reported NDEs with measurable changes in the body. Resuscitation interventions may lead to the revival of consciousness and a chance for patients to describe their experiences during the period of cardiac arrest, which makes these types of patients good candidates for NDE studies. In Dr. van Lommel's study, he and his team interviewed patients who had near-death experiences during their cardiac arrest and found that some of them reported accurate and verifiable information about events that occurred while they were unconscious, such as details of medical procedures, conversations among medical staff, or the layout of the operating room. These findings raised significant questions about how individuals could perceive and report such information when their brains were supposedly not functioning. Another study on brain activity during a near-death experience was conducted by Dr. Sam Parnia, a British physician and researcher known for his work in the field of critical care medicine, resuscitation, and the study of near-death experiences. This study, published in the journal, Resuscitation, in 2014, aimed to investigate the experiences of consciousness during cardiac arrest, a period when brain function is typically absent. Researchers used a combination of auditory and visual stimuli to test the experiences of individuals who had survived cardiac arrest. They placed images on shelves facing the ceiling in emergency rooms and intensive care units, which could only be seen from above. The idea was to see if patients who reported NDEs could accurately describe these images after their cardiac arrest. Several survivors claimed to have had out-of-body experiences. Some of them accurately described the images placed on the shelves, which they would not have been able to see from their physical vantage point. The study indicated that these experiences occurred during a period when patients had no detectable brain function, as measured by electroencephalogram and other indicators. Let's pause and contemplate the underlying enigma here. How is it possible? The brain, the control center of our consciousness, should be effectively offline during such moments. It should not be processing sights and sounds, and yet, there you are, navigating through a surreal world of perceptions, seemingly with your senses intact. It's as though your consciousness is on a rollercoaster ride, defying the expected boundaries. Psychology also plays a crucial role in understanding NDEs. Some researchers propose that NDEs are a result of perception and memory distortions under extreme stress. The mind may create comforting scenarios as a way to cope with the impending threat of death, but it doesn't explain veridical perception. The heart of research into NDEs lies in the accounts of those who've experienced them, and the International Association for Near-Death Studies, IANDS, has been collecting stories and conducting research in this area since the late 1970s. I'll leave the link to the website in the description box below if you'd like to keep up to date with the world of NDEs. Many of these reports share well-documented common elements. Some individuals describe a sensation of leaving their physical bodies, often floating above them, as if watching the scene from an out-of-body perspective. Others report passing through a tunnel-like structure, often accompanied by a deep sense of peace and tranquility. Encounters with deceased loved ones and a life review, where one's life events are replayed and evaluated, are also commonly reported elements. But not everyone has a positive experience, and a percentage of people who report having gone through an NDE weren't near death, but in a deep state of meditation, or similar. So it really is quite mysterious. I was watching a video with Ben Goertzel of Hanson Robotics recently, where two of its AI robots had a debate. It was very entertaining and at times, super amusing, but what I found really fascinating was when Ben described how the robots were made. They have a computer in their torso, which helps with visual processing and so forth, but they also have a Wi-Fi connection, so that when the robots need more advanced thinking and reasoning, they can access what he calls the AI mind cloud. He explains that while the robots appear separate, they actually connect in the cloud. Everything that one robot learns goes into the mind cloud, and can be accessed by all robots. This is both amazing and a little scary. But what I thought was interesting is to ask myself, are humans also connected via consciousness to a mind cloud? Would this explain near-death and out-of-body experiences? I don't know, but I think it's an intriguing way to look at it. I'll leave a link to this video too. It's quite humorous and enlightening. It turns out that I'm not the only person to ask these types of questions. Some scientists and theorists have turned to the mysteries of quantum physics to make sense of NDEs. They propose that perhaps our consciousness is not tethered solely to our brains but possesses the capacity to tap into a broader, interconnected network, transcending the limits of time and space. In this intriguing proposition, NDEs become more than just random hallucinations. They are windows into an intricate cosmic framework where information from far-flung realms becomes accessible. This notion challenges traditional views of consciousness as solely a product of the brain's activity and opens the door to the possibility of a deeper, interconnected realm of consciousness. While still highly speculative, some theories propose that NDEs may be glimpses into the nature of reality itself. Similarly, multiverse hypotheses propose that NDEs could be encounters with alternate dimensions or realities, further blurring the lines between science and the mystical. However, it's important to note that not everyone readily embraces these cosmic possibilities. Skeptics remain cautious, offering counterarguments that suggest NDEs may be rooted in confusion or post-event rationalization. They contend that these experiences could be the brain's way of constructing narratives during times of distress, akin to an intricate dream. On the other hand, believers view NDEs as a window to view the afterlife or the existence of a larger spiritual reality. But regardless of the discussions on the subject, the impact of NDEs on individuals is simply profound. Many experiencers report transformational changes in their lives, including decreased fear of death, increased spirituality, and a deeper appreciation for life. These after-effects raise questions about the enduring influence of NDEs on one's beliefs, values, and outlook on existence. One example is a woman called Nancy L. Dannison, who has written several books about her 3 near-death experiences. She was raised a Roman Catholic, but has since completely changed her belief system. She believes that we are the product of the imagination of Source, or God. We incarnate into this reality in order for Source to experience physical life in an intimate way, and that we are a part of Source consciousness. As such, She proposes that we are what she calls sub-personalities of Source, which she refers to as light beings. Our lives are a result of the beliefs we hold. This reality is like a dream, and the true reality exists outside of, and beyond, human earthly life. She also believes that there is no such place as hell, since Source had no reason to create something to punish itself. If you're interested in her accounts, I'll leave links to her website and books below. What the people who've had these encounters tell us about what lies beyond the veil is pretty mind-blowing. It seems that we are part of something far greater and kinder than our wildest imaginings, and that there is no such thing as death of consciousness. We will have an opportunity to review our experiences in the game of life, but we are not judged by a wrathful God. We judge ourselves. In my opinion, this is a loving and kind perspective. What's more, near-death experiences seem to tie in with some Eastern beliefs of reincarnation and the afterlife, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, which posit that the soul or consciousness undergoes a cycle of rebirth into new bodies after death. In some interpretations, the afterlife is seen as a transitional state between incarnations, where the soul undergoes purification or spiritual growth. Near-death experiences remain an enigmatic facet of human existence. While medical and psychological explanations offer valuable insights, the allure of NDEs persists. Whether seen as a product of brain function or a window into the mysteries of the universe, NDEs continue to inspire wonder, curiosity, and a deeper exploration of the profound questions surrounding life and death. The convergence of science, personal narratives, and speculative theories underscores the enduring mystery of NDEs and their role in shaping our understanding of consciousness and the nature of reality. I've long been interested in these strange consciousness experiences. I've had an out-of-body experience, but it was very brief, because once I saw my body lying on the bed below me, I screeched in horror and went whooshing back into my body through the top of my head. It was a seriously spooky and confusing experience for me, as I was quite young at the time. So I'm curious, have you ever had an experience like this? What are your thoughts on near-death experiences? Do you believe that consciousness can exist outside of the body? I look forward to hearing what you think and feel about this enduring mystery. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep asking the big questions.